Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Scorpio moons, or if you have significant Scorpio placements in your chart and are needing a feminine energy to work with or balance within yourself, or if you're just feeling called to this reading for whatever reason, then I trust that there's a message in here for you. So, Scorpio, let's get started with the bottom of the deck. It's really interesting how these cards come out. You have here scissors. Underneath that is the rat card. So this says disappointment in some affair. And then the rat says someone working against you behind your back, which is really interesting. So I feel like if there has been any sort of disappointment within a certain situation that perhaps is coming to an end, or that has ended already, perhaps, it's because there was something in that energy that was working behind your back, right? That it was going against you in some way. And so that's the reason why it ended in a disappointment. It's because it wasn't meant to. You were actually being protected, is what I'm seeing here. You were actually being protected here with the bottom of the deck for this deck. The protection card, that if some aspect of your life did not move forward for whatever reason, that was for your protection, basically is what I'm seeing here. And then you also have here the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Judgment card. And also the Wise Fox, which is, I believe, the Death card in this deck. So Judgment, the Death card, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles. So this combination of cards is talking to me about the story Holes. If you're familiar with it, it's like a young adult novel. There's also a movie. It's called Holes. Very popular story. But there was this one. So just to summarize the story, if you are not familiar with it, where there's this boy who gets basically he just has bad luck is kind of what I think the story is talking about, because I've been getting a lot as well, just randomly from other sources, this feeling of like somebody saying like, oh, lucky me, but it's not really a situation where you would say that, right? It's kind of ironically where it's like you're given a task or there's some sort of burden placed on you, where it's like somebody has to do the hard work or the job that nobody wants, and it's like, oh, lucky me, right? It's kind of like, so you may be feeling like that in a certain aspect of your life, like you've been dealt some sort of unlucky hand is kind of what's coming through here. But what the reading is like trying to talk about in the spread here, is what I'll get into, is that like in the story Holes, he has an unlucky break where he is sent to like a juvenile detention center, basically, and has to dig holes. That's like, it's as part of like a community service or something. It's like in the middle of this desert, and he has to like just dig holes because the owner of that camp is searching for something, right? It's searching. There's like rumored to be treasure in that camp. The kids who are there don't know that, but they're just asked to dig holes as part of community service. And it turns out that this unlucky young adult, even though he was in a place where it was like almost like a punishment, right? What he actually discovers is that hidden treasure that has been rumored to be buried somewhere in this desert actually belongs to him from a long generation of, like, from a generational standpoint, right? Like it was like his great grandfathers or whatever, something like that. And because his name Stanley Yelnats has been also passed down, it's like his name is also on that treasure. So it's kind of like something like, I don't know how this is going to play out for you, Scorpio, but it's kind of like maybe you are feeling like you're in a place where you've caught a bad break, or like you're not somewhere that you want to be, or that you ended up in this place, whatever this is, in your current manifestation because of some sort of unlucky circumstance that has been placed upon you. But it's kind of like what I'm seeing now is that you're about to discover some sort of treasure that belongs to you from perhaps like past lives or something like that, right? That's just what this card is coming through with. So that's the overall context of your reading. And it's really interesting, that whole thing about like the names, like something, first of all, that belongs to you, that has your name on it. But there's also something happening in the cards here where it's kind of like, it's the same thing backwards and forwards is kind of what's coming through, like a palindrome. Like there's something like, you can read it either way and it would be the same thing, is kind of how is what's coming through here. So I don't know if that's gonna mean something to you or not, but anyway, so the first two cards out here, you have the Carrot, which says opportunity or windfall, which is always a good card to have, I think, the Carrot. And then you have Defense and the Queen of Cups. So I'm actually seeing this Carrot as being like the disappointment, actually. It's like there was some sort of opportunity, perhaps, that you went towards, but with this Queen of Cups, I'm seeing this card as the disappointment, because it's kind of like, how I see this card is kind of like you go to a museum expecting to see some sort of like exhibit or something, but it's like that artwork is not in the museum, right? It's like loaned out to someone else or something like that. And with the Defense card, I often see this as being sort of like other people, or just like perhaps having to defend yourself in a certain situation, right? Like that's kind of what's coming through here. Having to defend yourself in a certain situation. So it's perhaps like you're leaving a situation, or like this is the disappointment energy, right? Some sort of opportunity that didn't follow through or something like that. But what you have here next, because so you have the Optimism card, which I'm seeing is just like you going in a different direction is what this is looking like to me, with the Optimism, because I feel like there's some other energy here that's that is almost like pulling you towards it. You have here the Harmony card, the Dream Protector, and the Master of Secrets. So this is a masculine energy, right? The Dream Protector is the Emperor, and the Master of Secrets is the Magician. So both of these are very masculine energy. So I don't necessarily feel that it's a person, but it might be, because it's coming out with Harmony. But it's kind of feeling like whatever this energy is, it's almost like it's drawing your attention away from this past disappointment into something that's more harmonious, and it's coming out on top with the Grapes, which says time to go out and have fun. Because I feel like and also it's just coming through with a lot of abundance as well, where it's like perhaps you've been in this period of perhaps disappointment, or like whatever this is, because the reason why this Onion card reminds me of holes is because of there's a point in the story where the two of the characters, Stanley and his best friend Zero, have to go to have to run away from the camp, basically, right? They're being chased by the owners of the camp. I can't remember why, but they have to leave the camp basically on their own in the desert, and they magically find this like wild onions that they live off of. Anyways, so random. Where it's kind of like, I feel like, Scorpio, you might have been in a situation where you were waiting perhaps for an opportunity or for a windfall that didn't arrive. That might be the disappointment. And it's like you've been living on carrots and wild onions in whatever this period is, right? Like bad luck maybe, or just like not a lot of abundance, but it's kind of like there's something coming in. Perhaps it's someone, but it doesn't have to be, or just like something new to focus on, because it's kind of like there's someone here or something. It doesn't have to be a person. Some sort of energy here that's almost like drawing your attention away and saying it's time to go out and have fun. It's time to go out and have fun, but it's kind of like you're being shown exactly where the treasure is kind of what's coming through here, because the next card out after the Master of Secrets is this Two of Pentacles. And so this Two of Pentacles card is to me talking about like, well, first of all, something is coming into fruition, right? Like some sort of plan or like something that you're building is like has a strong foundation and is starting to grow, is what this is talking about to me. But also because of this sort of light, it's almost like there's a treasure or something hidden inside this place that you're stuck in, is what this is feeling like. So it kind of looks like she's like pinned to a tree is kind of what it's coming through with. She's been put in a place, or you have been put in place, Scorpio, where it's like you can't necessarily go anywhere or go or leave or something like that, because you're in this sort of whatever, for whatever reason, right? You're in some sort of like place where you can't move from. And it's like what this energy is trying to show you is that there's a treasure here that has your name on it, is what this is talking about. And the card to come out on top of that is the good luck card, the horseshoe, where it's kind of like perhaps you're seeing this situation as being bad luck or something like that, but it's actually something that is meant for you. And it's almost like your luck is about to change as well, especially because we're Saturn is now direct, right? So it could be something like you're receiving some sort of gift of Saturn or something like that, which is really interesting, because it's kind of like I feel like there's going to be an opportunity for you, Scorpio, to go on some sort of adventure, is what this is looking like to me. But there may sort of be hesitation in that, because it's kind of like here you have the Nest card. It says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you, right? And then underneath that says the Fulfillment card. And so how I see this fulfillment is actually kind of like being given the option to like go on an adventure or to stay home and be sort of like financially secure. Because whenever you go on vacation, for example, it's like you have to expend money, right? So there's something about here like having to make that choice, right? Especially with the Nest, where it's like you're comfortable, you're safe, you're financially secure, or whatever it is, right? There's stability around you, but there's an opportunity for you to like go somewhere else. And it's kind of like, so perhaps there may be a temporary loss in your finances, right? Because it's kind of like, maybe that's what this opportunity is. It's like there's something that is an opportunity, but perhaps comes in feeling like bad luck, right? Like you've lost something or whatever. So it may be an opportunity that feels like bad luck, but it's kind of like whatever this opportunity is, it's bringing you right to this place of like discovering some sort of treasure, whatever that is, that was perhaps very unexpected, or like, but it's like maybe you would not have gone in that direction because where it is you are right now is very comfortable, is kind of how that's feeling. Scorpio. That's interesting. Okay, because the next couple cards out you have here, the Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Swords. So, and also this Pale card, which says time to get out of a situation, right? So I feel like whatever this energy is, there's some sort of energy here with the Dream Protector and the Master of Secrets that is calling you out of some aspect of your comfort zone, maybe, in order to pursue something that has the potential to be a Nine of Pentacles, and also this card, Exaltation. It's the Moon in Taurus, which is actually interesting because Taurus is the opposite to you, right? So I feel like there's something about like maybe really stepping out of your comfort zone. But I feel like what this is, because it's coming out like this, right? There's time to get out of his situation, perhaps to discover what this is. Because this Five of Swords talks about like a feeling of being on your own, right? Like feeling of like losing your stability or security. So it's kind of like you have to go out and like search for food or whatever it is, right? Like having to learn on the fly, or it's kind of like there's perhaps concern about like how you're going to provide for yourself when you go out in this direction, maybe. Because it's kind of like this, because this is looking to me like Stanley and his best friend after they've left the camp, right? After they left sort of that difficult situation, they now have no food to eat because they're on their own, that kind of thing. But it's like they stumble upon this like I don't know what it is, like a marsh or something that has wild onions growing in it. So it's kind of like what this is trying to reassure you, I feel, is that what this energy is trying to say is that if you choose this path, right, to go on some sort of adventure outside of your comfort zone, you're going to be provided all of the things that you need, is kind of how this is coming through to me. Like, it's like everything that you need will be provided to you. And at the same time, with the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like it's talking about that this is actually the opportunity that you were looking for, because this Lady of Cups, how I see this again is like the combination of these two cards was reminding me of like once I went to a museum to like, they had like a Van Gogh exhibit on display, and so I went there specifically for that exhibit. But then when I got there, it's like they didn't have Starry Night on display, which was like super disappointing to me, right? Because that was like, that's sort of like the main attraction is kind of what's coming through here. But this card always reminds me of Starry Night, so it's kind of like it's kind of like there was some opportunity that didn't follow through for whatever reason, and there's disappointment in that, like you didn't get to see Starry Night or whatever it is. But it's actually like the real opportunity, or the actual Starry Night, is in this other direction that you're being called to go in. That's much more fun. I want to say it's a lot more fun and a lot more abundant, and perhaps like has to do with a particular person or partnership of some sort. And it's like once you're in that new place, this is where you actually see or experience what it is that you thought you were going to experience the original way that you were going about it, if that makes sense. Anyway, so exaltation, right? It's like that. I feel like this is talking about, it has the potential to be very abundant and secure with these two energies coming out together, the Nine of Pentacles and exaltation. It could potentially be something that you become known for as well. Okay. Anyways, and then the last couple of cards you have here, you have the Boot, which says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. And then the Excitement card, which I love so much, and the Lord of Swords, which is the King of Swords in this deck. So I'm seeing this as sort of like perhaps a guide, right? I often see this as Excitement card as being a guide who calls you in a new direction, right? With a lot of excitement. It's like, come this way. is kind of what this card combination is coming through with. And especially because it's coming out with the boot, it's like, it does require effort, absolutely. But I feel like you have all the information, you have all the wisdom, you have all the guidance that you need in order to make whatever this path is successful, is what this is feeling like. And it's kind of like wanting you to reconnect more with this fun energy, because it's kind of like you've been perhaps in a state of like, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like, just not like eating wild onions and carrots when you could be like feasting, is what this is looking to me like. Like, it's kind of feeling like going from a place of not a lot of abundance to overflowing abundance, is what this is feeling like. But it does require a bit of an adjustment in terms of which direction you're headed in, is kind of what this is looking to me like. So Scorpio, I'm gonna leave it there. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can find my website in the description box below. If this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.